Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today you join me from the deep wilderness of what I call my backyard. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Weber Lumin fully electric grill setup that I've been using for the last 10 months or so. Now, going back to last year, the Chicago Drives Electric event I attended during the media days, Weber was actually in participation of that event during the media days as well as the following public days where they had the Weber Lumin grill setup plugged into a Kia EV6 via the 120 volt vehicle to load outlet on the exterior of the vehicle. And they were actually making hot dogs as well as burgers on these grills powered by a fully electric vehicle. And I thought that was, a phenomenal idea and one I've never actually seen it done in person before. So I was very intrigued by the Weber Lumin grill series, and I actually got a hold and was talking to somebody there, and they ultimately hooked me up with one of these grills, which I very much appreciate. So shout out to them for providing me with the Weber Lumin. And like I said, I've been using it on and off for the last 10 months or so. Obviously during the winter months and the cold season, wasn't really using it. I went through a move, different relocation and housing and stuff like that. So I have been using this on and off here now that the weather is much better and I have a place to use it at. And in this video, I just essentially want to go through my thoughts and opinions and usage of this grill over the last, 8 to 10 months or so, tell you everything I like, dislike about it, and ultimately why you might want to consider this grill for yourself. If you're just, a hobbyist griller, want to get away from the conventional means of grilling, whether that be charcoal and or gas, or want a product that you can actually, take with you on the go to tailgating events or camping, anything like that, because they do make a smaller, more compact version of this grill, which not only can be powered by, fully electric vehicles, as I mentioned, but can also be powered by certain gasoline-powered vehicles with 120 volt outlets in the beds or on the interior of the vehicle. And, it's a very easy system to use, very little setup, as you just saw me plug it in, and really from there, you are ready to go. So let's go ahead and not waste your time, take a look at this grill, what it has to offer, as well as grill up a few items here today. I'll discuss what I like and dislike here about the Weber Lumin Compact Grill Series. Okay, so take a look at the Weber Lumin itself. This is the larger of the two offerings. As I mentioned, they do make a more compact design, which is going to be obviously a little bit easier to transport, a little bit, easier to maneuver, take to tailgating events, but it will sacrifice a little bit of interior grill space. So do keep that in mind. Now, this is the deep blue exterior. They do make black as well as a couple other bright colors to help, fit your personality or, whichever color you like best. But front and center here on the lid, you can see the thermometer with the Weber branding and the overall interior temperature. This thing does get up to 600 degrees on the inside if you wait long enough, depending on the ambient conditions. So very cool. Gets plenty hot for most grilling needs, pretty much any time of year. May just take a little bit longer to heat up depending on those conditions. You have a nice large handle at the front end. You have your Weber Lumin branding at the bottom with the removable drip tray. Which these are sold separately, but you can also, wash them out and clean them, reuse them a couple times before ordering a new one. And then coming out back, you can see the plastic stand that it sits on. There's the part number and information. You see 1560 for the total wattage. So this is perfect for the Kia EV6 or Ioniq 5 or, EGMP platform vehicles, which can do about 1.9 kilowatts, which is, about 1900 watts. So fits within that use case very nicely. You can see the hinges at the back. And on the side, we have the removable power source, which, controls your different heat settings. And, the cord is obviously wrapped up very nicely. And it's currently plugged into an extension cord into the actual house. And I think that is going to be really one of my only big complaints about this is the cord is fairly short. You want to get this grill a little bit, away from the actual home itself when you're using it for multiple reasons, but mainly for safety. And I think this cord, might work okay for certain tailgating events where you're maybe grilling out on the truck bed itself or, very close to the vehicle with a, table and or a stand. But I think for normal household use, I would like to see a slightly longer cord be implemented. Really not a deal breaker by any means, but just something to keep in mind as the cord is, a little bit on the shorter side. But anyways, taking a look on the interior, you can see I have been using it. It's a little bit dirty, but grills will get dirty like this. Both of these grates are going to be removable on the left and right hand side. They do come with different accessories depending on the function that you want to use. You can use this as just a warming tray. You can steam stuff. You can smoke things on here. It's a very versatile product, and this dial really does give you the different modes and everything like that. You can see there's a steaming function, smoking, grilling is going to be all the way at the end, and it really just kind of changes the temperature and overall power being supplied to the unit, along with those different accessory trays they can place on both the left and right hand side. Now on this grate, for example, I've put at least 8 burgers on here, quarter pound, normal full-size burgers on here. They fit with plenty of room to spare. I would not be surprised if you could get 10 to 12 depending on your placement for the actual grill area itself. And of course you can line these with hot dogs, brats, burgers, pork chops, chicken, anything else that you want to use on here. This grill really does a great job of doing just the normal grilling duties, which I have mainly used it for over the last 8 to 10 months. So that's going to be a look at the actual unit of itself. Let's go ahead and grab some food. Go ahead and grill up some pork chops today and see exactly how long it takes to preheat here on a normal. I believe it's only like 70 some degrees out today, so it's actually a very nice, beautiful day outside. Okay, so with what we're grilling today, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the food on since they're fairly thin pork chops. But you can see just under 13 minutes to get to about 425 there is really not too bad. And like I said, I think that's plenty warm for what we're gonna be grilling up today. Now, one thing you do have to keep in mind when you immediately open up the lid for the first time, or how many ever times you open up the lid, it will let heat out of the unit, so the temperature will drop. Oh yeah. Ooh, almost lost it. Close the lid back down, set a timer going, and just a few minutes on each side, and those should be done. But you can see there the temperature dropped all the way back down to 350 degrees, and it is quite windy today, so there was definitely a cross breeze shooting across there. Oh yeah. So I just got done eating those pork chops and they sure hit the spot. So that is pretty much the process for using the Weber Lumin. I don't think cleanup's really gonna be any different from most other grills out there, other than the fact that, well, you're just unplugging this one, cleaning up the grates, which are removable. So if you wanna do that somewhere else, you can do that. And of course the drip tray on the bottom of the unit catches all of your stuff. You can simply place a new one or toss it away, or reuse this one and clean it up, which I tend to do just so I'm not as wasteful with those aluminum foil baskets. But as a whole, cleanup and usage, as you can see, is very, very simple with this grill. So just to run through the times quickly, we had about 10 to 12 minutes of preheat time, about 30 seconds of setup time, extremely easy, plugging it in, waiting for it to heat up. Then we had about 5 or so minutes of grill time, and then you have all of your cleanup, which depending on how you do it, takes another 5 minutes or so. So as you can see, overall very, very easy to use, and under a half hour, well under a half hour, you can be pretty much go from startup, setting the grill up, getting everything prepared, to clean up and putting the grill back away, obviously once it cools down. So overall, my experience with the Weber Lumin has been absolutely fantastic, and I would highly recommend this grill to pretty much everybody out there. And I know there's going to be some diehard fans of gas, charcoal certainly, wood fire type of stuff as well, because of the flavor and everything like that. But I have to say, depending on what you're putting on this grill, it certainly does still have a lot of flavor, and it does have a hint of smokiness, because obviously it's dripping down, obviously it's burning off the the heating coils there, and hopefully translating back up into the food or the meat itself. But As a whole, I have absolutely loved using the Weber Lumin, and I would highly recommend it. Like I said, it's basically picking which size of the grill you really want to use. If you're traveling, transporting it, I would highly recommend going with the compact version, but if you're keeping it at home, you have the built-in stand, which they sell separately for, and are kind of keeping it more in one location. I think the larger of the two, which is the unit I have here, is a great choice for small family gatherings at your house, anything like that, and it'll easily, you know, fit 8 to 10 burgers of, you know, full good size on there with room to spare. So overall, I think the versatility and the usability is great. You know, you can, you know, have one side as a grill, one side as a steaming tray, or, you know, serving tray if you want to just keep things warm. There is a setting for that on the actual heating unit. So yeah, I mean, that is pretty much my impressions of it. I have not had a single issue with it. I think it's a, you know, overall very good design, relatively easy to transport, and, you know, a good usable size for either a single person like myself if I have people over, or, you know, a family that needs to feed 4, 5, 6 people at a time with one grilling session. I think this unit in the larger size can definitely do that. So let me know what you guys think. Get down in the comment section below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and or found something helpful. If you did, make sure to hit that like button below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Huge thanks to Weber for sending this unit out for me to test and review. I know it's been several months that I've actually been using it, but I think it's actually better that I've had a little bit more hands-on time and usability with it, so I can speak as to really the positive and negatives. I think the only negative I have is the actual cord length. On the, you know, heating unit or the power supply itself is just probably 1 to 2 feet too short. If they made it just a hair longer, I think that would solve pretty much all of my complaints about it. But other than that, I think it's a great unit for a very fair price. All things considered, this comes in under the $500 price point for the larger size as seen here. And I think even the compact comes in well under $400 if you guys are interested for that one. So I'll go ahead and leave some links down in the description below. Let me know what you guys are thinking, and if you guys are gonna check one of these out, maybe for your next grill purchase, or, you know, at a store where they do sell Weber products. But overall, I hope to see you guys in the next one, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this somewhat different grill type of video. I know it's not something I usually do here on the channel, but nice to bring you guys some different content every once in a while. So as always, hope to see you guys in the next one.